It is your favorite fitness and movie nerd, Al King, back on at it again with another banger and fire video for y'all's out here today there, y'all. Welcome on back to the channel, and guys, have me another fire and awesome workout today, feeling good. And guys, I've been meaning to share my thoughts on this for a little while, but I normally don't talk about Hollywood drama, controversy, and all that stuff, but I gotta share my thoughts on this because I feel like it's a lot of people that just don't understand fitness and what goes into it, and just don't understand how the body works over time as you age. Now, granted, The Rock, he's living a totally different lifestyle than most people. My bad, guys. Hopefully the phone and everything didn't rain too crazy. But anyway, guys, so The Rock is living a totally different lifestyle compared to the average person walking around. So he trains extremely hard. First of all, believe every day. Most Americans ain't doing that. And on top of that, the way he eats a lot. He eats very big meals and high dense stuff. He really lives by, like, you can tell, he lives by a certain way of living that most people don't live by. Now, you don't have to train as hard as he does to get crazy results in the gym. You just have to be patient, which most people aren't. To get a decent physique, it really takes you, if you stay consistently with it, at least you get about 3 to 4 days out the week, have time to rest, a decent diet, you can pull it off within I would say a good 2.5 to 3 years, but you're not going to reach the best, like probably your best version where that physique is really crisp until you hit a good 5 to 8 years. It generally takes half a decade to build a really crisp natural physique. And it's not going to be as super big and bulky like all these guys that you see on TV. Now that's when it comes into performance enhancing stuff to get them that big, because the average person is not going to be walking around super jacked like that, unless you have crazy genetics, or you have to eat so much. You're going to have to eat a ton to pull that off, and to maintain it is just unrealistic. So performance enhancement make a lot of sense, which we can definitely tell that The Rock has most likely went down that path for sure. Millions of dollars on the line. He's used for, he's used to being that big, like just that huge dude that everybody knows, that action star. So it makes sense why he would choose to go down that path. Now, I'm not saying he went out of his way to do that. I'm not saying he did or he didn't. But from a person that's been in fitness for a few years, I understand my body, and I got a decent idea of how fitness works, and just constantly learning as I grow. I don't think he's natural, in my personal opinion. And regardless if he is, if he ain't, even over time, with people getting upset, guys, this is the main point I want to make this video. When I seen the amount of people, the backlash that he got from him slimming down, the dude still looks good. Like no homo, like the dude still looks good. Like, I think people forget what a healthy weight looks like. And, he's trying to be more healthier. His body probably reached that point like, hey, I can't handle all that injections back to back, to stay super big. I got to be healthy. And guess what? When you're natural, you're not going to have as much muscle mass as a lot of these juiced up guys, or be able to put on, that type of muscle like that quickly. It takes such a long time as a natural to build a really solid frame on you. Now, there's a smart way to do it. If you're consistent, eventually your body is going to come around, regardless. So if you're giving your body what it needs, focusing on your sleep, healthy habits, your body is going to look crisp over time. You just got to be patient with it. And on top of that, you're going to have much higher testosterone than a lot of these roided up guys anyway. So yeah, you don't have to be super, super big. And that standard too needs to change, because I feel like it's really skewering a lot of the minds out here of what a good physique is. Because you guys seen what I look like before. I look better than most people walking around. Most people is fat, out of shape. Yeah, I'm on the slimmer side, but that don't mean I'm not strong. I can do stuff like this. Can you do stuff like this? Probably not. And people say, oh, it's all about how much you lift. No, lifting is like, I'm not going to say lifting ain't important. It is important to have some type of weight training, but your body weight is so much more important, because like your legs, if you don't train your legs, that's you're literally screwing yourself over to potentially getting cardiovascular disease down the line. Like, you need some strong legs, and you can build that with body weight exercises, walking. There's so much stuff that you can do to just be healthy. And I think we need to see more healthier bodies on the screen, and also understand too, when people show their gym pictures after they work out, that's how they look after a pump. Y'all don't see how they're walking around like without the pump. So they might have some belly fat over those abs. Their arms may not be as defined, and all that stuff. But after a pump, you're gonna look like a superstar. You're gonna look like an Avenger, low key. After a pump, depending on how far your fitness journey is. So, that's another thing too to keep in mind. But I don't understand the backlash that The Rock is getting, and even him losing followers, over him slimming down, And once I seen him quoted that, basically saying, I hope I quoted this right, that when he was saying this, and he was like, it's time for me to start living myself and not for others. I said, yeah, I know he's trying to live a healthier life for sure. But at the same time, I know at his level, he's trying to do it in a very professional way. Because nobody wants to come out and be like, oh yeah, I'm using X, Y, and Z, performance enhancing stuff, because now that kind of taints his brand. So, but hey, mad props to him for trying to, live a more healthier life, and all these people talking about, oh, I can take The Rock now, like I can, oh, he's small now. I'm like, bro, like the most agile and best fighters are all slim. Like and they're like, they do calisthenics and a bunch of stuff. Like, look at Bruce Lee. Like, come on, most people ain't beating him. If he was still here, Jackie Chan, are you finna beat Jackie Chan even at his old age? Like, come on now. I'm just saying, so like, being big and strong definitely has its benefits. You can lift more, but lifting is only so much, to the point where it's like, once you get to a point where you're not even functional, like you can't even put your hands all the way behind your back, you can't even like just maneuver certain, like you just can't maneuver in certain positions anymore, where you're so big it feels tired to go up the stairs. That's not good. So I personally believe that, hey, Hollywood needs to promote more healthier weights, like in terms of like just how people look, versus like these super jacked dudes, because like you can be slim and muscular, and then plus there's so many tricks with the cameras to make you look bigger, and with the proper lighting, like it's not that hard to do, So honestly, the best range to be, at least as a man, I would say 170 to 180s, even 190s is pretty good. That's pretty good weight for men. 160 ain't bad, because like depending on your frame, you might actually look bigger, but you're still light, so it just depends, but if you're able to build that up, I mean, get as strong as possible, but stay lightweight, that's really where to be, in my personal opinion. But that's all I want to say, guys. I don't understand the hate that The Rock is getting for him slimming down. I think it's crazy that people are roasting him, that he's not super jacked. I'm like, the dude is what, in his 50s or 60 by now? Like, you're naturally gonna lose muscle over time, as a man, so that's the obvious point. And then if he is coming off a gear, he's gonna lose even more muscle. So it makes sense, but the dude still looks good. So I don't see the issues. I think people are just trolling, man. I don't understand it. But that's wild to me. But it is your boy Al King. Like and subscribe, share. Y'all take it easy.